And we're live. A very warm welcome to the third episode with Coach Sonos. I'm happy to see you again, and in today's episode we're going to talk about thoughts. What are they and how to relate to them. So for this, I'm trying for the first time this new software to me, OBS, which many of you may know, so bear with me. But I thought it would be a good idea to share some illustrations along the way, just to make these concepts clearer and the way to relate to our thoughts clearer. So without any further ado, let's get to it. So the first illustration that I want to show you is we have two guys. One guy on the left who is very burdened by thoughts, by limiting beliefs. That is what these blocks here represent, as well as standing on unfirm foundation, on a shaky foundation. And that accumulation of limiting beliefs, as well as standing on a shaky foundation, is blocking this guy from being connected with Source. And this is really how our journeys begin. Like, we understand that, wait a minute, we come to realize that it doesn't make sense anymore, things that you took for granted. So you start peeling off the onion and deal with these blocks that are on top of your head, on top of you, as blockers against being connected with your intuition, which in extension is connected with Source. To the right, we have someone who has been working with him or herself a good amount of time. All right, moving on. So I also went on to ask ChatGPT to give me some illustrations on this notion of someone who is weighed down by limiting beliefs versus someone who is living freely and well connected with Source. So just to add some extra imagery for you to connect with this idea, this concept. And again here, so what we can add further is someone who is, what can we say, weighed down by limiting beliefs can be likened with living inside of a box, inside of a matrix, if you will. And then step by step, as you see that these are actually, these boundaries that you thought were firm are actually a lot more dynamic, and the only one who decides whether to hold on to these boundaries are you. You start to live in a limitless way. Which brings us to this illustration, which I find is so telling about what happens when we are okay with these boundaries. It's very seductive for one part inside of us, being the ego, to continue making these circles of comfort. Like, oh, that was uncomfortable, let's make a rule to not have to encounter that discomfort anymore. And so it continues. Comfort versus discomfort is a key notion here as well. And whenever you are walking through everyday life and notice a discomfort or unease, I want you to remember that this discomfort is to be encouraged. Like it's an indicator of you being on the right way, on the right path, instead of being afraid of it and giving into it, which leads to ever more circles. Good. And in the next image, it's very telling in the sense that comfort is a drug, and once you get used to it, it becomes addicting. Give a weak person consistent stimulation, good food, cheap entertainment, and they'll throw their ambitions right out the window. The comfort zone is where dreams go and die. Everyone is allowed to do as they choose, but let's say those who have woken up to that life is more than just consuming and this consistent stimulation, like who feel that call, the call for adventure, the hero to make the hero's journey, as Joseph Campbell refers to it. Like those who I imagine come to this channel, this is a good reminder to have in the back of our minds at all times. And additionally, another illustration that came to me throughout the years is your comfort zone and aiming to be outside of it as much as possible, or let's say on a daily basis, because outside of it is where the real magic happens. And let's say now that you're doing these things that are outside of your comfort zone, who is the one who is screaming, saying like, no, please don't do it, please don't do it? I encourage you to think about that, meditate upon it, and really, like, because the thing is, we grow up identifying ourselves with our thoughts and believing that we are one-to-one with our thoughts, but that is not true. And that is why meditation is something powerful, or just leaning back comfortably in your favorite chair or favorite sofa for 10-15 minutes and observe the thoughts that come to you, and then start to form a new relationship to these thoughts in case of them being limiting. Because what first appears to be you is actually just part of the ego's programs, the defense mechanisms of growth. And that is okay. It's part of the infrastructure that we deal with here when we come to Earth. And part of the path, part of our journey is to learn how to deal with it in an effective way, where the ego doesn't make us live in a disturbed way or restrictive way. So there you have it, guys. This episode is an encouragement for you to think about thoughts and your relationship to them. Thanks a lot for watching, and this is for sure a topic to be expanded upon in upcoming episodes. This is Coach Sonos. Take care and all the best. See you soon again. Ciao.